This is the National Garden Scheme garden, supported by Project Giving Back. And it is a garden that will go after Chelsea will go to Maggie's in Cambridge. So it's a garden about really decompressing and connecting with nature and taking your mind off your personal troubles. If you imagine that you may have been diagnosed with cancer, you're arriving at a Maggie's for the first time, and you arrive at a busy NHS car park, and you're walking to the centre. And I hope that you'll be walking through this grove of hazels with beautiful planting. And by the time you arrive at the centre, you're feeling a little bit more positive about life and a bit better about yourself. So that is really the core message of the garden. But it's also about the NGS, about the spirit of sharing and opening gardens. 3,500 gardens through the country. Sometimes people forget about that, and how people, garden owners, really put themselves out to welcome people into their homes. A rather lovely touch is that actually quite a few of the plants have been lent by or given by NGS gardeners. So some of the foxgloves, some of the convallaria, some of the Metella, little ground covering plant, have been donated by NGS garden owners, which is a lovely touch. So if I was to point out three things in the garden that I'm particularly pleased with, the standout, which everybody, particularly who goes inside it, just goes wild about, is the garden shed, which is, to call it a garden shed is a bit disingenuous. It's the most, you could almost sort of move in there and live in there for a week. It's designed by my son, Ben, which is rather lovely to me, and it's built by Fen Scott Fielder, who's a brilliant, brilliant carpenter. So it's made out of cleft oak on the outside and beech on the inside. So rather like a gardener, it's rather rough on the outside and very smooth on the inside. And the inside is made entirely out of a single beech tree that fell down at home. So that's my sort of number one. And number two perhaps is the beautiful stone water butt. Now that collects the water off the roof of the building. The water is collected in a terracotta gutter and then goes under the ground and then up into the water tank, which is rather nice. So all the water in the garden is recycled. If there was a standout plant in the garden, something that's really attracted people's attention, I think it's probably Saruma henryi. And rather uncannily, Ula Maria in her garden down the bottom of the avenue also has a pot with Saruma henryi, as I do. And we definitely did not exchange notes or look at each other's garden. It's a wonderful woodlander from China, discovered by Augustin Henry. And it's not a plant that you've seen around very much, but I think it's a plant that you're going to see around quite a bit in the future.